Is your 401k money really safe, or should the company holding your money do more to protect it? The TheStreet Foundation's founding fellow, Susan Antilla, joins me. Susan, good to see you, first of all.
Good to see you, Rhonda.
You've written an investigative piece looking at customer security at Vanguard, the largest mutual fund. What did you find?
Well, I found that, first of all, a whistleblower came to me, and she has written to management to say that she doesn't think security is good enough. And one of the big things that she's found is that, you know, those special passwords, it's not your security password, but the secret questions that we all give to companies. She's found that you can put typographical errors in those and still get into your account, which securities experts tell me is a real breach. There are other problems too, but that really was the biggest one.
In terms of Vanguard's response when you brought this to their attention, I'm assuming the whistleblower also tried to make some headway on that front. What does the company say?
The company says they've looked into her allegations and they feel very confident that customer money is safe and secure and that they're doing a good job. That's really all they'll say about her. But they also have told me that recently they've put in some new security measures so that you can do things like getting a code sent to your cell phone to give you extra security. So it's not that they're ignoring security, but it's that they have some little glitches that probably need some attention.
Has there been a breach that we know about?
There's not been a breach, a hacking type breach. They did have quite a lot of phishing attacks beginning last summer and going through the end of the fourth quarter. And that required the fraud department to go reach out to people who were phone reps to start calling clients to tell them that there could have been malicious access to their accounts.
So it's not just Vanguard, though. Your story also mentions Charles Schwab.
Yes, Charles Schwab has something interesting too. It's very similar. You can go into the account and you can say, I forgot my password, and they'll ask you these questions that you've given them, and you can put in a typographical error. And I called Schwab about that, and they said, well, that's because we only take up to 8 characters in those answers. I said, well, your question to me was, what's the 10-digit phone number? They claim that they only recently discovered this problem and that it will be fixed by the end of the year. But it's somewhat similar to the problem that I'm describing at Vanguard.
It makes you wonder how this even came to be. Why were these checks not put in place beforehand?
You know, one of the big things, and this is a problem for these companies, I have some sympathy for them, they're constantly balancing security against customer convenience. And all of the securities experts I talked to said the same thing. They don't want to make it so hard for you to get to your money that you go to their competitors. So all of them are constantly doing this balancing act, and it is not easy. It's really not easy.
It's an interesting point. So what do you do if you have money in one of these big firms and you want to make sure that you can, A, get your money, and it's all going to be there when you check?
Right. Well, I learned a lot in this that I didn't know about my own money. Most of the firms give you some sort of a guarantee, and I put that in quotes, guarantee that if unauthorized transactions happen online, they'll guarantee that they'll pay you back. It's a big but, though, that's associated with that. You have responsibilities, too, and they all outline them. And I learned a lot from that. You have to have a different password than you use in any other account. I mean, how many of us use the same password over and over?
That's right.
Who would think? You have to have anti-spyware, firewall protection. I mean, there's a lot of stuff like that. You have to regularly check your account. So if it's actually great advice, things that I didn't know about, like especially that password thing, everybody ought to go and look at the fine print in the security section online of their brokerage or mutual fund company and make sure you're doing those things.
Well, great advice and great story. Susan Antilla, great to see you.
Great to see you, Rhonda. Thanks.
I'm Rhonda Schaffler for TheStreet.